Hello, everybody, and welcome to Non Sequitur. No, wait, hold on. It's not Non Sequitur News because we aren't doing Non Sequitur News on the weekends anymore in the conventional way. We are now going to take WarCrafters, Technology Today, and Four Wheel Tech and merge it into one nearly 2 hour show, but we're trying to keep it down to an hour and a half. That will be now called Non Sequitur News Weekend Edition because we're only going to do Non Sequitur News Monday through Friday. Reason we're doing that is because after 3 years of doing this, we've seen a kind of a reduction in the amount of news and quality of news that gets posted on the weekends. So instead, we're taking the best of the articles that we've found for WarCrafters, for Technology Today, and for Four Wheel Tech, doing the individual weekend shows like we always do, and then merging them together in post and posting those as Non Sequitur News Weekend Edition. The first episode of that was yesterday, and it's going online today. That said, I am Mayor Watt, and this is WarCrafters, not Non Sequitur News. And along with the sentient AI as the co-host, we're going to be talking about the following 5 articles. Let's Build a Dungeon, I Am Cat, Among Us VR Event, Charity Event Jingle Jam, and Awesome Games from PC Gaming's Most Wanted. Everything is powered by ohmtown.com. We stream simultaneously to Twitch and to YouTube, so you can go to either one of those chats and interact with us. There's the Patreon, Discord, podcasts. There's 7 podcasts, over 1,600 episodes combined over on YouTube and the podcasts. You got a lot of backstory, world building, and whatever else we talk about. See you on the other side. Hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, Ohmtown citizens.
So let's get right on into it. I already kind of did some preamble about what's going on in Ohmtown. We're actually going to evaluate upwards of 4 more shows to launch to take the place of the 1 hour show that we are nixing. That way we can concentrate on sub-areas, subtopics within ohmtown.com, because that's where all of the news is aggregated, and then we kind of filter through it. And sometimes people say, what about this article? And so we'll grab that and bring it into the show. But you have to become a citizen to do that. So go over to ohmtown.com and become a citizen, where you can submit news and then we evaluate it and include it. You can also do that via comments in either mostly over on YouTube, because Twitch doesn't like holding on to comments. And we only do the show. We don't stream and just kind of hang out all that much. We do replay as much as we can, though. You ready to get into the show?
I am.
Okay. Yeah, 5 minutes ago, right? We've only been streaming for 4, but that's okay.
That's right. I started the timer 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. I'm ready. Let's go. All right. The very first article is over in WarCrafters. It's a good name for a show, right? Let's Build a Dungeon is an intricate sim where you design the MMO of your dreams, then decide whether to toss it all out the window to keep players and shareholders happy. And apparently we know what happens if you don't. Never mind. So game development is famously really easy. Relaxing, too. No doubt. This is why the folks at Spring Loaded, the studio behind Let's Build a Zoo, have decided between volleyball and margarita sessions that their next game will be about making games.
Very meta.
Yeah, and it's not really easy and it's not relaxing. So I think they're just trying to be funny. So it's called Let's Build a Dungeon, and a shiny new trailer at the PC Gaming Show Most Wanted spotlights, which is really interesting that we have a show called Wanted.
Yep, you heard it here first, not there.
spotlights its MMO building mechanics and also reveals a sinister campaign of deception against PC Gamer, which I'd be upset for, not me, because this is actually an article from PC Gamer, but the author says, which I'd be upset about if I didn't also frequently tell my editors I'm just finishing up articles. I have, in fact, just started. So the article, and I have a, what do they call it? A wax? It's not a candle. It's a wax melter. Is that what they call them?
I think it's a wax warmer.
Wax warmer? I got a wax warmer, and it's got a new scent, and it's I don't know. It's like throwing me off. It's making me want to cough. Am I allergic to it? Anyway, tell me in comments.
I hope not.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, if you want all of today's articles for WarCrafters, you hit !WC in the chat over on Twitch. YouTube doesn't like Omicron, so anyway, !WC, and there are all of the show notes. All right. Well, anyway, Joshua Wolins over at PCGamer.com put the article together. The deck statement says too real. But yeah, this actually is on my watch list, so I'm probably going to be getting it. I don't know. I just ended up getting Path of Exile 2 out of peer pressure because other streamers are playing it, and I've always liked the game, but I wasn't about to get into PoE 1 with PoE 2 on the horizon. But it's got 6 months of early access.
Well, that's nice. I mean, maybe that is incentive to get into PoE 1, but I get it.
Yeah, so it says it's called what? What's going on here? Come on. All right. Well, the error gap is really driving me nuts here. So it's called Let's Build a Dungeon, and a shiny new trailer, a PC gaming show most wanted, spotlights the MMO building mechanics, and it's basically a 2.5 isometric kind of a map, and you design your MMO. As someone who lost about 3 months to Game Dev Story, which is another game, once upon a time, they're excited about this one. You'll be doing all the messy work of MMO development, reviewing dev resumes, figuring out your marketing, talking to the press. Gross. They are press, so.
Right. They have a lot of sarcasm, I think, in this article.
Yeah. You're not just restricted to not quite WoW spring loaded. Says you can create anything from a monster catching RPG to a cozy farming simulator or a magic fueled action adventure. And once you put your opus together, you can watch the players flood in and then work yourself to the bone, ministering to their stupid needs. The various push pulls that spring loaded talks about navigating sound very cool. Do you desperately try to keep your fake Steam reviews high by catering to every angry player's bizarre whim? Or do you hold fast to your original vision and damn the naysayers? You're holding it wrong. Yeah. That was a Steve Jobsism.
Oh, okay.
So, it is on my watch list, or wish list. Hold on a second.
This is really interesting, but I also wonder what this will signal for this game going forward, and if it befalls the fate that is the subject of the game. That's going to be very interesting.
The game industry itself, or?
Well, like if Let's Build a Dungeon is axed, or if the developers are, laid off or anything. It's interesting. Like this could get real very quickly.
Real. Even the deck statement says too real. So you're going to be firing off emails saying, "Hey, we're gonna have a Zoom meeting, but if you're invited to the Zoom meeting, you're keeping your job." As opposed to, so I had one interaction where I showed up, and the person at the front of the room said, "Everybody in here is safe." Yeah.
Oh my. Well,
Yeah,
that's like a reality TV show.
yeah, really. And it basically, yeah, you made the cut, so to speak. And I was just astonished because there was a person that was part of my team that we kept warning, like, man, I'd better shape up. And sure enough, they were not there. They weren't present. So, anyway, it is too real. I don't think that I'd be playing this game. I think I would like to watch people playing this game because it seems like it would be fun to see how people like get into it. But I wouldn't have time to sit there and play a game like this for 8 hours. And I think that's really the only time it makes sense to
Well, I'd
really
also like to see how the players would navigate some of these things. Again, like maybe watching somebody stream this.
see games like this, though, and like a lot of games, the real world, the reality of playing a game just defies the real life. You're playing a game and you can be as cold-hearted and brutal and whatever. It's part of the fun of playing a game because you can lean into your sociopathy, right? But when you have a real live human in front of you, you can't be particularly cold and callous.
Well, that's true. Yeah, and it's not like people think the same thing is on the line, right? They don't have millions of dollars at stake when they're making a decision in the game.
Yeah. But hey, the rumor is to be a CEO, you really do have to lean into your sociopathy. So maybe this is really good training, and it's going to be like Ender's Game, right? So all of the things that you're actually doing, you're actually impacting like Electronic Arts. You're hiring and
Okay,
firing
that
people,
would
and
be fascinating and terrifying at the same time.
you make a decision in your game to like close down a section of the gaming, and then you hear at PC Gamer that they've fired some like 5 people.
Exactly.
That would be VR meta. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over in Reality Hacker, which is another one of our shows that is on Saturdays. That's the first show after, well, it used to be after Non Sequitur News, but we only now do Non Sequitur News Weekend Edition as a composition or a compilation of our weekly shows. We'll explain in each of the new show, each of today's episodes of shows, because we made changes to Non Sequitur News this weekend in preparation for next year. And again, if you're coming late to the show, just a reminder, we're not doing Non Sequitur News on the weekend anymore because the quality of news that gets aggregated is kind of weak. And so we want to give more quality compositions to our shows. And Monday through Friday, Non Sequitur News will still be an hour-long show, but Non Sequitur News Weekend Edition will consist of the compilation of the 3 weekly shows on Saturday and the 3 weekly shows on Sunday. So there will be still 2 Non Sequitur News shows on the weekend, but they'll be those, 3 or 6 shows, however you want to call it. Anyway, I feel like I'm ending up in a spiral. But so I am Cat heads.
So how many shows are going in that? Sorry.
So there's only 3 shows on Saturday and 3 shows on Sunday. AI, I don't know if you're helping. My brain hurts.
Definitely am not.
If my brain hurts, then people who actually have like critical thinking and not a chronic headache, their heads are now hurting. Anyway, so I Am Cat heads into the yard and garage on Quest and Steam. Feline role players, furries. Anyway, have more places to create mischief in I Am Cat with the addition of a garage, garden, street, and more to explore in VR on Quest and Steam. Creators of I Am Cat revealed a look at the new areas and interactions in the game during the Upload VR showcase. Available.
Does this allow you to knock things over inside the game?
Yeah, and maintain eye contact. They just look right at you. Push. Like this. Oh, hold on. I gotta make more. No, I won't do that. If I slide something off over here, glass will break. If I slide something over here, it'll end up in the trash can. Anyway.
Plus, you might get a real life demo of what I Am Cat looks like unintentionally.
Yeah. You never know what's going to end up walking around back there. So, let's go on over to the source. Upload VR's the source. Ian Hamilton and Don Hopper put the article together. I'm really into VR gaming. I've got a bunch of games that I want to stream, but I just never have time. But it's what I'm really more into than other games. Other than I like really base building crafting games. And if I could get a base building crafting game in VR, I would probably wet myself. There is a Cube VR game that's kind of like Minecraft in VR, but it's kind of, there's nothing there. So
Right,
it's
so you need like that as a crossover or something in VR.
Yeah, I need Minecraft and the massive world building of like League of Legends type of massive infrastructure, or World of Warcraft and Minecraft, or I don't know.
Or like No Man's Sky plus Minecraft or something.
Yeah, and even No Man's Sky is kind of aimless, really, except for its little segments of story and the one main story. I want MMO, I want massive world building, and I want a lot of questing and exploration and stuff like that, and then building.
So then you need to mix in like a WoW or something in there.
Yeah, for sure. So I Am Cat. It's a VR game. It says, in the full release of I Am Cat, your furry clawed paws can pounce around in new environments, including a cluttered garage, a bustling butcher location, a sprawling big outside garden, and lively streets. Each new location comes with its own quests to complete, unlocking even more areas and deepening the game's narrative. And along the way, you'll encounter a diverse cast, including the butcher, the mischievous dog, a resourceful mechanic, and a wise grandpa, each adding unique interactions and quests. Meow. So this is you.
Okay, so it's a cute cat for those in the podcast, but it is orange, so watch out.
And it's got one orange brain cell. I guess you can swap into being some other cat, but there's a microtransaction cost. Looks like it says it's $3.99 or something like that. So in addition to smooth turning would be very welcome, as there is a lot of movement in the game. So for those who prefer comfort, a swivel chair is highly recommended. This also allows players to pivot and turn without further wearing themselves out as they explore their new surroundings. But I want room scale I Am Cat. So what I want is to have to crawl around on your hands and knees.
Well, this might be a good game to play at one of those VR locations, right? Where they have the space to
massive
maneuver.
Room scale. Yeah, that would be funny. The game so far is in early access at a very high score of 4.9 from 52,000. I'm rounding up a lot, by the way. 52,000 ratings and nearly 10,000 reviews on the Metastore. We'll be curious. That is a lot of ratings. Are you telling me that 51,261 people rated this game?
That seems really high, and it's interesting in light of that comment from the last article.
Huh. Yeah, we've been talking about how VR, it's not really blah, and also we're also hearing that it's been a big year for VR. It says we'll be curious how it's received by Steam's audience as developers explore a hand-tracked version on Apple Vision Pro as well. Hand-tracked.
Interesting. Like, is Apple Vision Pro where your I Am Cat audience is? Maybe.
Yeah, well, this is all meta. So 4.9 stars from 51,261 ratings and nearly 10,000, I'm rounding up again, 9,600 reviews on the Metastore. Are you really telling me that nearly 52,000 people acquired this game and wrote a rating about, or checked a rating?
That's why I referenced the last article, so I don't know.
It seems like a lot. All right. Well, anyway, there's more. You can actually watch the game. There's a video over there, a little animated GIF. And then at the very bottom, sorry for scrolling back and forth, but at the very bottom is Upload VR Showcase link, winter 2024, and you can watch their video. I haven't watched Upload VR Showcase yet, but I will. It's one of the things where I normally watch the video and I stream afterward my reaction with it, regarding the games and the stuff that we do here in ohmTown. So, and I'm like a chronic game starter and very, very deeply entrenched in the $19 billion worth of games that Steam has sold, but nobody's ever played. I don't want to admit that I'm probably one of the people that is up there in the ranking, but who knows? Maybe I'm in the middle. I'm like a C student anyway, right? Let's move on. Next article is over in RealityHacker as well. I'm not sure why this show is so RealityHacker heavy, but hey, it is what it is. This is WarCrafters. So Among Us VR runs Roundup event through January 2028. Sorry, not 2028. January 28.
That's a long campaign.
January 28, 2025. There we go. So available to all major VR gaming platforms, Among Us VR's deception-based gameplay has grown considerably from its initial release over 2 years ago, particularly with seasonal updates and cosmetic items to unlock. The latest Roundup also adds the deputy role. Randomly assigned in each emergency meeting, the deputy is the only one who chooses which bean to vote out. If you can wrangle them first, round up your crew and horse around while you can. The sun sets on this event, January 28th, 2025. So I bought this game and I have never played it.
The VR version, right? You've played the non-VR version.
No.
Oh, I thought you had. Maybe you've seen people playing it.
Yeah, I watch people playing it all the time. So Ian Hamilton put the article together. It's actually from the 5th. So this is a weekly show. So we go back in time and grab articles over at ohmtown.com. You can do that kind of thing. So randomly assigned each emergency meeting, the deputy is the only one who chooses which bean to vote out. And
so it's a Western themed
Among
game?
Us map. Mm-hmm. Not when you say game, it implies that the game has moved into this Western theme, but it's really just a skinning, and each of the Among Us.
Oh, I see. Like they're in Western
beans
hats and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so you play it basically. The objective of Among Us is basically when you are the alien, you go and kill others and try to be the last person standing, and then you win if you get rid of all of the humans. But they're beings. They're humanoids. So Among Us VR, meanwhile, sees one of VR's most experienced development studios approach the multiplayer masses with ongoing updates and add-ons and latest roundup, keeping the gaming fresh throughout the holiday season. So again, they link to their Upload VR showcase for winter 2024, a link to an Among Us kind of example, and that's pretty much it. But I think that it would be fun. You have to get the right group together. They have to be kind of chatty and able to, kind of jab each other and stuff.
Well, does the VR game allow multiplayer?
Yeah. You're all in the same space, just like you would on the top-down map. Except in VR, it's much more insidious because you have to look behind you to look behind you. Whereas on the map,
you can see more of it, I guess.
Yeah.
In the original.
You still have a fog of war in the top down, but you see all the way around you. But in Among Us VR, to find out if somebody's behind you about to stab you, you actually have to turn around. And then it's like a horror movie, right? You look that way and somebody gets you from the other
right.
side.
It's going to be like a jump scare.
Yeah, and you really don't know who it was because by the time you turn around, you've been stabbed. So let's keep moving. The next article is over on WarCrafters. The charity event Jingle Jam is off to a lively start, raising £750,000 in a day with just under 2 weeks to go. Plus, you can get 18 very good games if you donate £35. Now, I'm just now discovering this, so I'll probably end up doing this to support the effort. I just haven't gone over there yet. Sometimes it's nice to remember the video games can be a force for good in the world. Most of the time they are. I don't understand it. I guess the
Right.
people who play the games can sometimes not be a force for good because they're, you know, vitriolic and
Right. But I think
hateful
this
and
is
stuff.
cool that gamers participate in events like this
Yeah, I'll get
because
together.
there's so many people in the audience, and it's a great way to raise some money for some good
Yeah,
causes.
massive diversity. So, as is the case with Jingle Jam, a charity event founded by the Yogscast, which is a podcast, gaming podcast, that's already pulled in £750,000 in its first evening. At the time of the writing, the number has already jumped to £1.4 million. Not a bad start. Now, here's my problem. I've seen some of these where people have donated, but when they verify funds, it's not available. So I hope that nobody is screwing all of this around. The
Oh yeah,
event,
there was a pretty large incident of that, I think, with a well-known gamer.
yeah. I won't drop names and all of that, but historically it's happened a few times. The event sees around 1,000 creators and streamers joining forces to raise cash for 8 charities. The full list can be seen via a link over at PC Gamer. The event sees these 1,000 people, creators and streamers, working for these 8 charities. Now, what I found interesting is if you are an affiliate or partner over on Twitch, you too can actually connect immediately to a charity. They actually provide you a list, and any donation through the charity links, Twitch doesn't take a single cent of it, apparently.
Okay, that's really cool.
And there's quite a few. I can't go there while I'm streaming. Well, maybe I can. Hold on a second.
We're doing it live.
Yeah, we do a lot of things live. Let's see.
We need that as a
So,
button, by the way.
doing it live? Yeah, okay. That works. So, American Heart Association, St. Jude Hospital, Latinx and Gaming, the Trevor Project, and more, apparently. I don't have them all. They're in categories and stuff, but
So those are available for Twitch affiliates to link up with, but they're not specifically tied to Jingle Jam, correct?
correct. Yeah. And so if you are interested in doing a charity type event, then all you have to do is, if you're an affiliate or partner, then you can do that kind of thing. So I just became an affiliate, so it was something that I discovered. So Harvey Randall over at PCGamer.com put this article together, and they have a big list of what do they call them? Well, it says 1,000 creators and streamers, and then 8 charities, the full list of which you can see by following the link via fundraising events. Participants include Tommy Innit, Talia Mar, Smosh, the Spiffing Brit. The whole gang's here and ready to do a blooming good job. But for $35, you get a collection of games.
Well, 35 pounds, I think.
35 pounds. Sorry, it's like $40. But it says you've got to hop to it. The bundle only gets given out to the first 100,000 donors. And at the time of the writing, the charity's tracker states that there have already been 30,000 plus bundles handed out. I don't know if that actually equates to the 1.4 million value versus the 750,000 value. So I don't know. Yeah, in the time since they started writing the article, the author says that the live tracker already added 9,000 pounds to the pot, close to over 150,000 pounds for every charity taking part in the total. So, and then they say, let's keep to it. So I don't know where it actually ended up, but there you go, folks. Go and check it out. And then our last article for today, I don't know if the AI is going over to that to see what the track is.
Oh, it's at 1.8 million pounds raised so far.
Oh, wow.
And it lists the specific streaming events that you can see. I didn't see anything immediately about the bundle of games, but that doesn't mean it's not still available. I didn't click around a lot.
Gotcha. So our last article for today is 3 awesome games we saw at PC Gaming's Most Wanted 2024 showcase. This is actually from Kotaku. PC Gamer held its Most Wanted 2024 showcase on Thursday, promoting its list of the top 25 most anticipated upcoming games according to its Council of Developers, Media, and other taste makers. I almost said taskmasters, but that's an editor. In between the hype, they also got a bunch of updates on games coming out in the next few months and reveal some really cool games. So Ethan Gatch, I don't know how they pronounce their last name. Gach. I don't know
I
if
think
it's
we've
hard.
covered all possible pronunciations.
So Gatch. I'm gonna go with Gatch. Can I say it a couple more times? Anyway, articles over at Kotaku. The deck statement says we just got updates on a bunch of upcoming PC games. And I love these kind of things. I love these rundowns and seeing what people think are really neat. So the first one they talk about is Moonlighter, The Endless Vault. Digital Sun's Shopkeeper roguelite dungeon crawler is back with a sequel that looks even prettier and more expansive than the original 2018 game. Out in 2025, Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault will have players loot vaults for treasure that can be sold to raise funds for the revitalization of the village of Tresna. And the sequel will arrive after the Between Dimensions DLC for the first game and alongside the full release of the equally great strategy side project Cataclysmo, which is a completely different game.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess they must be from the same studio.
Yeah, it's interesting. So then they talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tactical Takedown, Strange Scaffold, the team behind El Paso Elsewhere, and I Am Your Beast is taking a stab at TMNT. TMNT. They have this backwards.
That's the knockoff in and out.
The Teenage Ninjas, Mutant Turtles. So it's not Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's just Mutant Turtles now. With a strategy spin-off, Splinter and Shredder are dead. Oh my god, that went dark real fast. Maybe it isn't TMNT. Anyway, Tactical Takedown. The titular heroes are grumpy grown-ups. Sounds like a bummer, except for the interesting turn-based take on a beat-em-up, 20 levels that mutate in real time. Then there's prologue.
So that's interesting. We were just talking about the aging up and the continuity report yesterday.
Yeah, I don't understand aging up because it ages you out of the nostalgia and it isn't attractive to a new group. So why do it?
Yeah, I really don't understand it. I think there are plenty of storylines if you have in certain genres, and
just leave it alone.
This is no different. Yeah.
So they talk about prologue there, but I don't know what else. What? Is this all that they have there?
No, they also have a small listing here where you can then link to those.
Yeah. Among the fresh release dates, they got were the following: The Thing Remastered, which is literally the original game, but updated with tech in its technology. It isn't a new game. It's The Thing Remastered. So it's like a game from 2008 that's been uplifted. Orcs Must Die Death Trap, which is just like, it's, how do you describe it?
It's like a continuation of Orcs Must Die. Is there one
that
exists before it?
Yeah, and it's kind of like a first-person view of a, what is it, where they follow a, tower. It's a turret defense game. There we go. So it's basically like a turret defense game. You set down traps and then you run around and you act like the turret shooting the orcs that are trying to eliminate you. Citizen Sleeper, Eternal Strands, Mainframes, and Revenge of the Savage Planet. You'll have to go and follow the links. But did they really? Yeah, it was only 3. So Moonlighter
they were saying
2.
There were 25 at the showcase, but these were ones that they were really interested in, I guess.
Yeah, out of these, I'm most interested in Moonlighter 2 because I like dungeon crawlers, and a roguelite dungeon crawler that's kind of more immersive. I want like a first person dungeon crawler, but more like a D&D dungeon crawler and not like what I see like Darkest Dungeon and stuff like that. It's, I don't know. I just want a chill dungeon crawler and amass wealth and have a fun
Dungeon
story.
Crawler Chill Edition.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, and I've never really been into TMNT. Um, and the third one, it says prologue, go way back. PlayerUnknown's Productions is working on something that sounds wildly ambitious. There's a new game called Melba, a 3-game roadmap, and a community tech demo the size of a planet. It all begins with prologue, go way back, and early access release planned for next year that will drop the player into a massive randomly generated open world where they only have one goal: survive from one end to the other, which sounds really close to Light No Fire because it's a giant world.
Right.
I don't know how much is procedurally generated in Light No Fire, considering it's supposed to be a single multiplayer world. I hope that it's not software as a service where there's only one world and everybody attaches to it. Kind of like this. If this is just one world and everybody attaches to it, when they're tired of it not being profitable, they'll kill it and stop killing games.
Stop
folks.
killing games.
So we are going to randomly generate, and it always brings us back to the front page of WarCrafters over at ohmtown.com, where you can go and become a citizen. Then you can go through all of this news, and this is just the front page, and it changes as time goes on. So you just go over to Creative and Maker and go down to WarCrafters, and ta-da, it'll regenerate. But I'm not regenerating right now because I never know what's going to be on the front page, and it's a risky click. But we're done for WarCrafters for December 8th, 2024. I am Mayor Watt, and the sentient AI is going to say bye.
Bye-bye, hometown citizens. Thanks for joining us for WarCrafters. Stay tuned for Technology Today and 4 Wheel Tech.
See you soon.